Alright, so you guys wanted to talk about this, but let's set the stage first. So during a SMTOWN concert in Chile, Super Junior performed their song Lo Siento and featured Irene as the guest performer. The song usually features another female, like the original did with Leslie Grace. There's been Jiwoo and Somin from Card, and this time it was Irene. Anyways, part of the choreo has Leeteuk dance with Irene, and I'll describe what we see on the fan cam and then how both sides are seeing it. So in the fan cam footage, you see Leeteuk place his hand on Irene's waist, and then Irene's left hand just kind of coming down and maybe touching his hand. Now, the backlash against Leeteuk comes from the viewpoint and belief that the reason Irene's hands come down is because she's moving his hand up. That she clearly felt uncomfortable with where his hands were and he crossed a certain boundary. Now, to back up the argument, some fans are pointing out past behavior from Leeteuk that shows you this claim and behavior doesn't come out of nowhere. They point out past stories about him forcing a hug with a 12-year-old Soo Young and how he asked Crystal to marry him when she was a teenager, which I'm guessing was meant as a joke. I don't know. So that's one side of it. The other side is saying that this is being made a big deal for nothing and that an apology is owed to Leeteuk. Hashtag apologize to Leeteuk. That this was part of the choreography. This was practiced beforehand, so she knew exactly what was happening. Asking why would he even attempt that knowing thousands of cameras were on him. And a big argument that this side uses is that if you look at the other girls he's done the performance with, he's even closer to them than he is with Irene. The fact that he was much farther away from her than the choreography calls for shows you that he was mindful of her. Alright, so with both of these arguments in front of us, what do you guys think? Watch the clip again and tell me what you personally take away from it. To me, I don't know, it's so divided and there are good points made on both sides. But here's the thing that's interesting to me. Neither sides nor SM have made a comment about this. Irene or SM could have come out and cleared the air, boom, done. But they haven't, leaving the fans to argue and speculate. And just from that fact alone, it tells me a couple of things, or that there are a few possibilities on what actually happened. First, what if nothing actually happened? Did the clip get misinterpreted? At first, I thought this was just an issue with international fans, but it does also seem like it's an issue over there, and fans are trying to be heard at the moment. Look, we know they're close, and Irene doesn't seem like she just lets anybody in her personal bubble. So for them to do that dance, I would think she had to be comfortable with who she was doing it with first. Now, on the other hand, maybe Irene was uncomfortable and he did cross a certain line for her. But I think the first people to get involved right away would be SM. Because they're both SM artists and I can see SM wanting to deal with it internally. Why ruin the image of the company? And if they are that close, they could be talking about it together. How do we know that the second they got backstage, Leeteuk didn't profusely apologize for what could have very well been an accident? There are so many possibilities and so many things we don't know. I don't feel comfortable taking either side. I don't want to denounce him if he actually didn't do anything wrong, but I also don't want to sweep it under the rug if he did. How do you guys feel about this? And do you actually feel strongly on a certain side of this?